Hey guys, it's Cord Ross and Y9S3 News. Today we are doing a theory video all about the Greek operator coming in Season 3 of Year 9. So here's the hook for this video. Deimos, an American operator in Rainbow Six Siege, but with a Greek mythological name. He runs the Cares Legion, yet another mythological name from Greece. And of course, Deimos is the big bad guy. Maybe he just likes Greek mythology and decided to name everything after that. But then we have a Greek operator arriving in Season 3 of Year 9. My thinking is that Deimos may not be the guy in charge, and actually the Greek operator is. So we're going to dive through this very long rabbit hole of all the Greek connections in Rainbow Six Siege so far, and whether they all end up connecting up to the Season 3 operator of Year 9, and are they yet another bad guy? So let's start with the Greek connection. So for some reason, throughout Rainbow Six Siege's history, Greece has not just been popping up from time to time in the lore, but has actually been a foundation part of it, and it's amazing that we haven't had a Greek operator up until this point. So we'll start with the first Greek connection, which is Galanos. Now I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but she is a female sniper who actually showed up in the lore to help Glaz with his rework of his thermal scope. Because of course he actually just had a scope with a red tint. That was his fancy gadget back in the day. So in the lore of Siege, she appeared during a mid-season reinforcements, which is the old name for the mid-season balancing. And we do have a visual artwork for this, so the picture is on screen now. And what happened is she basically turned up, she defeated Glaz in a sniper competition, and then she helped to improve his sniper rifle so that he could then be better. And that's the lore behind his rework. And she is originally from Rainbow Six Rogue Spear and Rainbow Six 3 Raven Shield. Now, of course, this is then being connected to the Season 3 of Year 9. If we're getting a Greek operator, maybe we're getting this operator, and she was just teased back at this rework. I will point one thing out, though, with this theory. It was 7 years ago that Glaz was reworked and this character was introduced to Siege lore. 7 years. So if that is a tease for the Year 9 operator, then damn, they were planning ahead by quite a significant margin. I'll also mention another thing, which is she's a sniper. Do you think after Glaz and Kali were so much of an issue to introduce actual sniper to the game that they're going to add another sniper who would yet again be a pain in the ass to balance and play with over time? So my thinking here is probably not going to be the Greek operator, but saying that, she is certainly going to be an active operator who was around when Deimos was part of Team Rainbow. So there is definitely a connection there, and who knows, maybe they just give her an assault rifle and some fancy gadget that's nothing to do with sniping. But anyway, on to our next Greek connection, and this one is far bigger. So from our sniper, we fast forward 2 years to the introduction of Harry, which happened about 5 years ago. And one of the things Harry did to shake up Team Rainbow was to actually move their HQ to Greece. Now this was done with the seized money from the White Mask, and he ended up setting up an entire complex, and we as players still, as of today, get to go to this complex in the shooting range and the stadium maps, as these are located within Greece, and this was effectively Rainbow Six Siege's new HQ. But since Harry's elimination by Deimos, all the new lore elements show that every time Team Rainbow is communicating back to home, they are communicating with Hereford Base, which is the traditional location of Team Rainbow's HQ. Now, since Harry made this entire complex for Team Rainbow, and of course it's been getting used by Team Rainbow, and it's even in the game, we've always assumed that at some point we would get a Greek operator, but we just never freaking did. And that means we can fast forward to the next connection, which of course is Deimos, an American operator with a Greek mythological name, which essentially means the personification of fear. And his squad is the Cares Legion. Now the Cares are female death spirits, and again from Greek mythology. And I've already done a previous theory, which is that these guys will actually end up being the new Recruit remaster that we get in Season 2. But anyway, Deimos, an American, has used, of course, Greek mythology for his names. Now, it could just be, of course, that he likes Greek mythology, and he's decided to use them because they sound cool. Perfectly fine. And it's by far the simplest of answers. But the thorn in the side is the fact that we have a Greek operator for Season 3. Now, I'll read you a little bit of mythology about Deimos. So Deimos mainly appears in an assistant role to his father, who causes disorder in enemies. And his father is Ares, and they normally go into battle alongside Eris, who is a Greek goddess of strife and discord. So my big question is, if Deimos is a lover of Greek mythology and he names himself after a Greek kind of god, then why pick one that's mainly in an assistant role when you could easily name yourself after the top dog? And to me, it's kind of what Deimos would probably do. So this makes me think that there's a good chance that Deimos is not actually the main bad guy for Rainbow Six Siege, and the main bad guy is actually yet to be revealed. And of course, the quick connection might be that, oh, well, if we've got Deimos, the Greek operator that comes in Season 3 might just be Ares, the actual main bad guy. But there is a couple of narrative issues. We've seen that they do their big story beats at the 6th Invitational, and then we get comics and then we get little cartoons in between that are usually not big story beats. So my thinking here is if they were to introduce a big bad guy for Season 3, it'd be highly unlikely. Maybe they would shell out the money and do another big CGI to introduce this big bad guy. Possibly, this is doable. But there is one other option that might fit the narrative that we normally see from Rainbow Six Siege, and that is that they actually introduce Aerith as a Season 3 operator. And like I said before, this is the Greek goddess for strife and discord. That sounds like it could well be a very good defender operator, because imagine this, we've got Deimos, of course, male operator attacker. Then we normally get a switch for the next round, right? We get a defender who's female, but we've obviously got the recruit remaster for Season 2. So if we push the actual female defender out to the next season, this could well be Eris coming with Season 3 as a Greek operator. This would then leave us with the remaster of Blackbeard at the end of the year, and then the start of year 10 would actually be the introduction of Ares, the main bad guy to Rainbow Six Siege, and a whole new storyline would appear. And overall, I do like this potential idea. It kind of brings in some different stuff. It fits with their narrative kind of beats, and it would be quite interesting because, of course, if we do end up getting a character called Eris for Season 3, we can sure as hell bet that we're probably going to end up then getting Ares for our year 10 Season 1, and all that would actually be quite a nice like hype train to go off. There is one big problem with all of this, every single bit of this, and that is that previously Rainbow Six Siege has not been very good at following any kind of narrative. So of course it was over 7 years ago that we got the Greek sniper teased. Then of course Harry gets introduced. He's going to be this big story element and he's going to be there a lot, gets eliminated. And then we have the whole Greek HQ and base, which we do see in game. It actually got the fires actually appearing in the game, and they still seem to be based in Hereford. So all of these things that they have introduced, and especially the Greek elements, have all ended up falling away. And this is why it's very possible that none of this end up actually coming true, because it might just be that they're not very good at actually following a narrative long term. And we might end up, even if this is their plan, it could be that they just aren't able to follow it how they want, and we end up getting a rather, traditional operator from Season 3, and they just happen to be from Greece with no real connection to any of this Greek mythology or anything being played out with Deimos here. But anyway, guys, that was me putting together a bunch of different connections for all the Greek stuff that we currently have, and there's a surprising amount of it, and it is surprising that we've never got a Greek operator in the game. And I do hope that the Greek operator we do get is something special for Season 3, that they tie it into the lore in some way and potentially make it even just that little bit more special, because the Greek people have been waiting so long for the Greek operator and Greece has been teased so much in the game. I just hope we end up with a very good Greek operator for Season 3. Anyway guys, let me know what you think about this in the comments below, and I'll catch you next time.